Regarding controllers on the Xbox, it's hard to find options beside the official ones, especially wireless, but with USB, Microsoft is fine. It even gives access to their own patents. That opens the door to more options. Most importantly, less latency. Today, we will see the two 8BitDo controllers for the Xbox. Let's compare them to the official controller and to their Bluetooth counterparts, and see if they will help improve your game. Welcome back, I'm Claudio, and this is Zero to Tech. When 8BitDo released the SN30 Pro 2, it was very well received, even if it was just a minor update from the Pro Plus. It added those features that many gamers were waiting for. However, the big surprise was when shortly after they released the specific version for the Xbox. Xbox gamers may have liked it, but they released the first version of the Ultimate series soon after, with a more traditional design. But besides this, is there any difference between these two? The box designs are almost identical. The only thing that changes is the size and the controller picture. The two use the typical Xbox design, including the Made for Xbox logo. Yes, the same one you found on xCloud controllers that only work on Android, not confusing at all. Inside the Pro 2 box, you got the controller that comes in a plastic tray, while the Ultimate only uses cardboard, following more ecological trends. In addition to the controller, we have two caps for the sticks, for having buying them in AliExpress. And the Ultimate version includes one free month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. All that remains is the manual, which is identical for both controllers, only the drawings change. Both cables are 3 meters long and include the security tail of the wired Xbox 360 controller. The design of the Pro 2 is an old acquaintance based on the Super Nintendo controller. The only difference is the inclusion of the Xbox button, the share button, instead of the profile button. And it also includes the headphone jack with a mute switch. Everything else is the same, only with Xbox icons. The Ultimate is more similar to the Xbox controller. It changes the places of the stick and the D-pad, but other than that, has the same buttons, although in other positions. But it has something else, one more button to switch between 3 different profiles. Regarding ergonomics, the Ultimate design has many retractors. Handles do not tilt out. Many don't like it and say it's uncomfortable. I like it. It's compact, comfortable, and everything is accessible. On the other hand, the Pro 2 configuration is more similar to the PlayStation controller. If you prefer it, it is a great option, and it is more comfortable. It fits my hand very well. Regarding features, first and foremost, they are Xbox controllers, for the One and the Series. It's not that common, but they have Microsoft blessing and include all the features. Specifically, they have trigger vibration, which appeared on the Elite 2 and is standard on the Series controller. It's not the same as the DualSense or the Apex 3, where it changes the button behavior. Here, they just vibrate, but feels good on shooters, and it's excellent for car games, where it tells you if you're losing traction while accelerating or locking tires while braking. This really helps improve your driving. Both have the headphone jack that works with the same headphones as the official controller, for those long sessions listening to kids telling you rude things about your mom. It also has a switch that turns off the microphone. You can control the volume using the hard button and up and down on the D-pad, and left and right to adjust the voice chat level. As an additional feature, you can change the position of the buttons directly on the controller. For example, press the 2 you want to switch and then press the start button, ideal for games that expect Nintendo layout. But it doesn't have the turbo function, which is common in other 8BitDo controllers. They also can be changed with the Ultimate software. These applications allow you to change everything you can think of, including the function of each button, with the 2 additional ones on the back. The only thing missing this time is the possibility to use macros. It lets you adjust the stick dead zones, disable them, and reverse the stick direction, same for the triggers, and change the strength of the 4 vibrators. Good, because the default is quite strong. An essential difference between both is that the Pro 2 only supports 1 profile, while the Ultimate has 3 profiles in addition to the default one. This lets you change all the options by simply pressing a button. Another interesting detail is that, on PC, it uses a particular version of the app available only on the Microsoft Store, and you can also use the Android and iOS apps, which connect via Bluetooth to the controller. Too bad, it's only to change the settings. All these features also work on Windows, which is the other supported platform, and the only one because we couldn't connect them to Android or the Steam Deck. Fortunately, Mr. detected them So we could do the latency test, where we could compare them with their wireless counterparts. The Pro 2 has less than 1 millisecond difference compared to the normal one, also connected with USB, but almost 3 times less than Bluetooth. On the other hand, the Ultimate version gave us times of nearly 8 milliseconds. Again, better than the 2.4 version using USB, but less of a difference than we expected. But hey, let's go back to real-world test. Starting with the front buttons, which look like the controller on which they are based. The buttons of the Pro 2 are almost flat, and the members have very little trouble, very similar to the PlayStation controllers. Those on the Ultimate are convex and have more throw, like the Xbox controller. In both cases, the tact is clear and feels very good. With L and R the same, a little more transfer in the Ultimate. Both D-pads are the same, based on the Super Nintendo controller, and as we have said many times, they are much better than D-pads on first-party controllers. A significant improvement over the Xbox controller, especially for retro games. This makes them ideal for those like me who use the Xbox for emulation. What makes them so good? First, they use a membrane with a short travel and a medium pivot. This combination makes them perfect in the separation test, where yes, it's possible to force it to do diagonals when pressing only one direction, but hard enough that it won't happen by accident. For action and precision games, it's perfect. And it also works well in sequence for fighting games. Carrying the direction to do the special powers is easy. The feeling while pressing the diagonal is clear, especially if you grew up playing with the Super Nintendo. The only difference between both controllers is the position, which depends on your preference. Up, as in Sony's controller, or down like Xbox. I don't like the last one as much, because I have to stretch my fingers too far to reach it. However, I have no problems while gaming. Between the two, the analog buttons have different shape, with the Pro 2 version having a little more throw, but enough trouble in either case. Its calibration is perfect, the dead zone on top is almost null. Easy to understand when you know they use Hall effect triggers, required to include the vibration. And truth be told, they are perfect, especially for car games. Along with the vibration, the depth control is excellent. You feel when you are pushing the accelerator too much, and more importantly, the brake. You can feel where to stop, not to lock the tires. About the sticks, they look identical, but they are not. Both are Alps, which is typical with 8BitDo, so the quality is guaranteed. Its shape is concave, more similar to Sony sticks than Microsoft ones. The difference is in height. The Pro 2 ones are slightly shorter, even though they are a bit taller than those on the Pro 2 Bluetooth. It is not much difference, but the Ultimate ones are taller, which helps with more travel and precision. But while playing, they are both perfect. They default to a small dead zone, but you can remove it in the app, and the movement is excellent, without sudden jumps or stops. The only issue is that they have a 15% margin of error in the rounding test. It is something that only affects a little in new games, but for emulation on older consoles, it's a lot. And the bad part is that you cannot remove it like on the Pro 2 Bluetooth, where when you activate the No Dead Zone mode, it only has 1%. In current games, you won't notice the difference. They are perfect for playing Halo or Fortnite. Moving and aiming work great, but you can complain in retro games that are more sensitive to this, especially Mario 64. With the stick halfway down on a diagonal, you have Mario running at full speed. About the price, if they are so similar, why would it be different? Both have the official price of $45, but you might get them for cheaper during sales. They are not cheap, but it's the price to pay for letting Microsoft approve them to work on the Xbox. Yes, they have cable, which can be a hassle depending on your gaming setup. I will keep the Pro 2 because I'm old, and the cable doesn't bother me that much. But if you don't use an Xbox, you may prefer one of the wireless versions. Check out the reviews on these videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, retro games, modern technology, zero to tech.